Tyler, he, him in Georgia, says, has noticed an uptick in gay folks being transphobic. How to work to combat that. So Tyler, you are live with Arden and Josie. Tell us what's going on.
Hey, y'all. So I just wanted to say, I think Al Sharpton, he says that righteous anger leads to collective action. So I think that could maybe help out Spring. Also, Jacob, I think, is a bigot. For him to push for conversion therapy, I actually was sent to conversion therapy, and it led to me having suicidal ideation. So I just think he's a little gross.
So sorry.
Anyway,
I agree. I just wanted to make sure he knew that I didn't actually call him that, but I do think he is a bigot. I just didn't call him that on the call.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like, if you say bigoted shit, you're going to be called a bigot. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm a gay man down here in the South, and I've noticed this more so online. There have been gay cis men, and they're typically white. I myself am a person of color that have expressed transphobic views. I know that on government websites, they've been taking the T off of LGBT. And some people are online are like, well, that's fine because they're not part of our community. I mean, trans men and women have been at the forefront of LGBT rights since forever.
Facts.
You know, we wouldn't have the rights that we have now without y'all. So it kind of, it's frankly pissing me off. And I mean, I call it out when I see it, and I'm not trying to be like gay centric when I say this or, you know, but I always say, you know, they come for the trans people first and we are next. So I just need more. It's so frustrating because y'all are part of us. You know, we all need to be a collective and fight against this bigotry that's festered in this country. And I just feel as if some of them are leaving all out to dry, and it's really frustrating. I want to, you know, have other talking points so I can open their eyes to just be like, y'all are dumb. Like, get with the program. Anyway, so if y'all have any advice, I know that Josie talked about last week during the gay movement, I think it was in the 90s, we kind of sold y'all up the river, and we're like, okay, well, we got what we wanted. So, you know, if they can take it from y'all, that's fine. I don't want that to happen again. So I just would like some of y'all's advice. I kind of called in just to get some of my frustration out there because it's been really pissing me off.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll hand it over to y'all.
I mean, if I could jump in first, just because I have two strong thoughts right away. I want to say, like, to the gays who are sincerely like anti-trans queer people, they are already coming for marriage equality. There's already a bill that's going before the Idaho State Supreme Court, I believe, that's supposed to, well, you know, is presumably intended to move up to invalidate the Obergefell Hodges ruling. I'm guessing is their goal. I mean, that's what they've been saying is their goal, and I think it's probably fair to assume that that's what's going on here, even though we don't have that explicitly. And like, silly to expect us to, you know, have to have them in writing saying this is my intention when that's what they've been saying publicly broadly for ages. Yeah, no, they're absolutely coming for gay rights. They're already doing it. And the other thing I would say is that I think like 98% of the times that I see a gay influencer taking those positions, one of two things is happening. One, they're not really gay and it's just a total fucking psyop. Which is genuinely the case all the time. Also, like the LGB Alliance in the UK, like the majority of their members are like old, straight, bigoted cis women who are like protecting lesbians from, you know, the trans agenda. It's like, who asked you, bitch?
That's silly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Also, I don't remember where I was entirely going with that, but I also remembered and I forgot again. Man, my ADHD is ruining my performance this episode. I'm so sorry, you guys. Josie, did you want to pick it up?
Yeah, and it's okay, Arden. You don't have to apologize. It's fine. We're under a lot of pressure. So Tyler, the reality is this. Also, you know, as Arden said, some of these people are cosplaying as queer, but there's also a lot of people who are also super afraid we know throughout movements as well that they're like, I'm one of the good ones, and they believe that if they just play and assimilate and they play the game, that they're not going to be under the chopping block. And the reality is, ask the gay Republicans how that's going for them. And in reality, like I said on the last show, it was the early aughts, not the early 90s, but the 90s were also awful for trans people in general. But as far as, we have seen throughout history that it's easy to point at another when your rights are also under threat. So when, Hispanic people back in the day were like, no, but look at the black people, or like black people were
Right.
like, no, look at the women, or like, or the women are like, no, look at the gays, and the gays are like, no, look at us, look at the transies, and it's like
Mhm.
it's this game that they try to play, and it's the marginalization that continues to try to give power to people to marginalize another. It really goes back to that old poem, right? That first they came for the socialists and I said nothing, right? We are at that stage right now
Right.
where first they came for the trans folks and I said nothing, or then they came for the immigrants and I said nothing, and then they came for the black people and I didn't say it, and I said nothing, and then all of a sudden it just goes up the chain and then there's nobody left, right? And that's where that comes from. It comes from the fact that there are people who don't try to stand in solidarity with other marginalized communities, and it's to their own detriment because they are making themselves weaker when they do that. Because who's going to fight for the queer people if all the trans people are gone, right? If like these white gay people, right, like they won the civil rights through the actions of Stonewall, when Stonewall was a predominantly black, lower income, club that was rated, and then all of a sudden it put queerness in the front of the world, and they were like, oh gosh, now we actually, from that moment, we were able to, over time, over decades of time, be able to win marriage equality. But you know what was happening at the very upper class white gay clubs? Nobody rated them, right? Because they were playing the game, and they think that they can go back to a time where, oh, I'm just gay in this little area and I'm fine, I'm integrated into society because of da da da. It's never going back that way. So yeah, I you can use, and going back to your comment, it's the fact that queer, black, trans people, and brown trans people were out there fighting in the streets, losing their blood on the streets, getting putting their bodies on the line, that won liberation for the white gay that was sitting there comfortably in their homes while they were watching their comrades that were also gay getting beaten in the streets. That's the reality. And they can't sit back and just watch it happen from the vantage point and hope that we're going to do it again. They have to get in this fight. And you know what? If they do not help us along this way, their blood is going to be put on the streets as well. And that's the reality. If it isn't for the marginalized or the marginalized communities fight, then we would not be free. That's why I always say, once we have trans liberation, that's when we are all free. That's the reality of the situation. So if they don't want to fight for
Absolutely.
trans liberation, they're never going to be free. So that's my little rant. Go ahead, Arden. It looked like you remembered what you were going to say.
Yeah, it's real quick. It's like one sentence. Then I want to hear what Tyler has to say back, which is just that. I can't remember the specific poll, but gay women are like repeatedly, when polled, like the biggest supporters of trans rights out of any like demographic group. So yeah, whenever I see these gays online being like, I'm anti-trans, I'm like, I think you're just a grifter. I don't even know that you're gay, honestly, because every gay person I talk to is like their family. Like that, I call queer people that I see in public family, because I'm like, I don't know,
sisters, like, I mean,
right, for real. No, honestly, that's how I feel. And yeah, anyway, sorry, go ahead. I want you to hear what you have to say to all that we just threw at you.
So for Josie, Yeah, I have noticed that the BIPOC queer communities are exponentially more accepting and supportive, you know, and it's just it breaks my heart because I mean I'm mixed race, black and white, and I just see my white brothers kind of just like selling y'all out, and I low key just want to punch some sense into them, but you know I'm not a violent person either, Spring. So, but anyway, and then also as it comes to these people being grifters, I don't know if y'all know Grand Old Evan. On TikTok or whatever. If not, don't look into him, y'all. But I actually went to college with him, and he was a huge liberal, this, that, or whatever. But as soon as he got out of college, he started to do the grifting thing. So I do agree with you on that. So I don't know. It's just I've been really frustrated with the gay cis community recently. I called to get out some of my frustration, and I just want to let y'all know that I support y'all. I love y'all. Not everybody, and a lot of people say that, you know, a lot of people in the South are bigoted. There's a lot of people that aren't.
Oh, for sure.
You know, it's.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so
I know Arden
you're a
lives in the
Southern
South,
accent,
and you live in the South, so there's two.
Right. So yeah, I'm down here in Georgia. I am in Atlanta, but you know, and I kind of moved here because it is more liberal. I grew up in a really red area, and like I said, was sent to conversion therapy and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I love the work that y'all are doing. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope y'all have a good rest of the week.
Yeah, thanks you for calling in, Tyler. I appreciate your time.
All right, thank y'all.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
I've only been to Atlanta one time, and when I did, I saw a queer walking down the street in heels and a rainbow cape. So,
well, I'm just
it seemed like a fun city to me. I was like, "Hello, can I live here?"
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of Black trans leaders that live in Atlanta, a lot, and they're actually gearing up to start running for office down there. And so Atlanta is kind of a little bit of a bastion for in the South for like queer trans liberation, as far as what we're working on for. So it's like it's that whole quay. I'm embodying the spirit of Miss Major. It's like we're still fucking here. Right.
Yep.
And we are winning in places like Atlanta, you know, in the heart of conservative South. And we're still winning. We're going to do it.
Yep. I am like Spring, constantly waffling between complete despair and hope and like, yeah, we've got this. I know we've got this. We're great. And then I'm like, oh, but it's also all over and we're doomed.
That's my job. Josie's positivity comes forward, even though you like to be like, damn it, Josie, let me be mad. I hear you, Arden. Like you're just like, I don't want to even see your positivity. It's like, yeah, well, that's what I do.
It's useful. It has its uses. Okay, listen.
Yeah,
I have to have a positive counterpart to me because apparently I'm just always the negative counterpart of the show. But hey, that's what you guys tune in to see.
Thanks for watching that clip. Hey, we're trying to do some data research about whether or not our callers successfully proved that God existed. If they didn't, don't forget to like and subscribe. That's how we know they failed. But if you don't like and subscribe, you're saying that they succeeded. So you're saying that by liking and subscribing, you will be affirming that you are an atheist. Hey, what else should they do?
I don't know. Maybe go to patreon.com/calltheline and donate some of their hard-earned money.
Like and subscribe.